Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to a new video. My name is Meyson. This is the second time I'm retouching this, not this image, but this second time I'm doing this video because the first one had an issue. I don't know, every time I change a number, my laptop just does something that my mouse, the mouse stops showing, like the mouse icon stops showing. But anyways, whatever. So today we're going to be retouching this image from the how to take bridal pictures video that I did. I think what's the name of that video? How to take simple and awesome bridal images, or whatever. So we're going to be retouching an image from that shoot. That's what we're doing today. And I just want to show you a few images that I've retouched. So this is the Capture One edit. Then this is Photoshop. Then this is Photoshop. This is capture. Sorry, this is straight out of camera. This is Capture One, and this is Photoshop. So now the thing about bridal images is that you do not want to do a lot. You don't want to spend too much time retouching. Imagine if you had to do 30 of this or 20 of this for a client. You don't want to spend that much time, retouching an image. Now, what I do for my brides is that I take nice images like headshots, bridal portraits for them, and I retouch those images because those are the ones that are probably going to be like framed. They're probably going to have large prints from that. So that's just what I do. So those particular images, because you cannot retouch all the images from a wedding, right? Or probably a few that you're going to put out on your website or somewhere that you're picking out to make stand out, then that's fine. So for this particular image, the first thing I've noticed is that there are a lot of grains, and it's probably not like my camera, because for my Canon I tend to get a lot of grains too, and even get more on my Sony, right? So what I'll do right now is that I'll just counter that. I'm just going to come to my tint. And remember, if you pull your tint backwards, you get grains. If you pull it forwards, you get magenta. So I'm just going, did I say forwards? No. If you pull it forward, you get magenta. So I'm just going to add a little magenta to this. Now remember, I have worked on this image before, so somewhere around 4.2 is fine. Next thing I want to do is I want to add a little more warmth to it. I like when skin tones are warm for weddings. Now, this image looks flat. It looks pretty flat, right? And I want to add some contrast to the image, right? So I'm just going to come to my levels. By the way, I'm using Capture One Pro. You can see up here in case you haven't seen it. Yeah, so I'm using Capture One Pro. That's what I use to work to process my raw files. If you're a Lightroom user, you can do this in Lightroom too. It's no big deal. They're almost the same thing. I don't think Lightroom has levels, but you can use curves to get this. So I'm just going to pull in my blacks. As you guys can see, if you know how to use your histogram, you know that your whites are on your right, then your blacks are on your left. So I'm just going to pull in my blacks right here. And this looks good, good enough. Then I'm now going to pull in my whites just a little bit. So let's check. Okay, yes, so our subject's skin tones are not blown out, so that's totally fine. I'm just going to add a little more black to this. Now, when you retouch bridal images, like I said, you don't want to spend too much time because you probably have a lot to do. And imagine shooting a wedding once every 2 weeks or something. So you don't want to spend too much time doing it. By the way, you're not trying to make them look like supermodels or, look like a beauty commercial. You just want to do a little and make sure that that little speaks a lot, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So this is all I'm going to do in Capture One right now. After this, the next thing I'll do is I'll move this image to Photoshop because I want to do a little bit of post-processing on this image. Now, I'm not going to do anything crazy, just a low frequency separation, a little dodge and burn, just because I want to get skin tones to look great. Now, the makeup looks good, but when you shoot with cameras that have high megapixels, you can see almost every single blemish or every single tiny speck on somebody's skin, even if I was shooting at very low apertures. Yeah, I think I shot this image at 2.8 or 2.2, I can't remember. So I'm just going to do advanced frequency separation, and my radius, I'll set it to 10. Now I think my mouse is going to disappear after this. It does this all the time. So maybe if I do this, it'll come back. Hopefully. Hopefully, because I cannot record this video again. So now, so my advanced so my advanced frequency separation already has my dodge and burn inside. You guys should definitely check out my dodge and burn videos and my frequency separation videos and my other retouching videos. You will learn a thing or two from them. I'll put a card up here, probably left or right. Check that out. Then also, I'll put a link in the description to those videos. You guys should definitely check them out, and they'll be at the end screen to at the end of the video. So definitely check them out. Now, the next thing I'm going to do now is pick my mixer brush tool, then work on my low frequencies layer. For the sake of this thing, let me just do that again and work on my low frequency layer. right? Okay, great. Now I'm just going to work on her skin and make sure I blend in the harsh parts. So what I'm just doing when I do frequency separation is that I kind of blend in, when I use my mixer brush on skin tones, is that I blend in the transition between highlights and shadows. Always remember that highlights and shadows, very important. So let's see where we've gotten to. Okay, you know, we're not doing too bad. It's not too shabby. You don't want to do too much. You still want your bride to look like your bride at the end of the day. Don't want her to look like a different person. Okay, just okay. I think I did something wrong at that point. Okay, no. So yeah, so this is where we're at right now. We're just blending her skin. By the way, I saw the other images that some of you guys retouched from the other videos. Nice, it was nice. Some I saw some and I seriously was almost laughing. I was like, what? This is not what I did. But yeah. So you guys definitely keep practicing. You get it, you get hang of it. Nobody learns how to retouch in 1 day or in 2 days, or nobody learns photography in a day or two. It takes a long time. So definitely keep trying and you get it, you know. I'm not where I want to be. There are other techniques I want to learn that I still try every once in a while, but for the most part, I'm quite satisfied with what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to stick to this for now till something else comes up. I'm just keeping you guys busy while I blend their skin tones, you know. And if you guys notice, I really do not zoom in when I'm doing this, especially for images like this, because I am trying to see the image the way people will look at it. I don't want to see it differently, you know. I don't want to zoom in, then I'll not know what I'm doing. Because if I'm blending the skin like this, then I probably cannot see a lot of things, you know, from other people's perspective. So as you guys can see, like I said, we're not going to do too much, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Maybe I'll spend a little more time, but YouTube, you know, we don't spend too much time on YouTube. So we still want them to look like them. We don't want them to look weird. So now I'm just going to pick my clone stamp tool, make sure I'm on current layer, come to my high frequency edit. Then I'm just going to take out some blemishes. Now, obviously, this image is not as sharp as a studio image would be, but that's the whole idea. You know, it's a bridal portrait. It's meant to be soft and dreamy and nice and warm. You know, let's take out this makeup stuff here. And yeah, you know, brides want to look perfect and nice on their weddings. So hey, better make them look good because they're paying you for that. So now I'm just using the clone stamp tool to take out the blemishes by doing holding option to sample. Then I'll clean, sample and clean, sample and clean. Just sample close to where you want to clean, then clean it off. Okay. Like I said, we're not wasting too much time here. We're just taking out whatever we do not need to be in the picture. We're not trying to make them look like supermodels. Maybe we are, because they are models, and I would like to make my bride look like a model too. But yeah, you don't want to do too much. It's not a skin or beauty campaign. Okay, so now that we're here, like I said, we're not doing too much, just a little bit. And I hope you guys are learning a thing or two. I want to just take out some strands from the hair though. Let me reduce my brush size. Just from the hair, just all these stray strands. I think they are distracting. So I'm still on my high layer. Now, my frequency separation would see most of the things on my high layer, most of the strands of hair as textures. So let's just take some of those out. Okay. Oh, oops, made a mistake there. Okay. Nah, made a mistake there. Let me reduce the hardness of this brush to 0. Probably have to do this again just so that my... Okay. So this is where we're at now. This is where we started from. This is where we're at. This is where we started from. This is where we're at. As you guys can see, I'm not doing too much. I'm not doing anything crazy. You know, it's just... Oh, that was my chair. I'm not doing anything crazy. It's almost the same way the image looks, right? Maybe I might take out this thing. Yeah. Now, because I retouch a lot of beauty images, when I see something that's not meant to be there, it kind of just disturbs me, but it shouldn't be that way. Okay, so now we're just going to jump straight into dodge and burn. That's what we're going to do. So frequency separation done. We just blended the skin a little bit. So dodge and burn is the next thing. So I'm just going to pick a brush, a normal brush, set my flow to 3. 3 is fine, right? So dodge, screen, burn, multiply. You guys should definitely check out my dodge and burn video. Definitely check it out. So make sure my brush is white. Make sure my brush is white. I have to do this constantly so that the brush or the cursor does not disappear from the screen. Now I'm going to turn off my frequency separation layer so I can really see where to dodge and burn very well. As you guys can see from the shoot, we have a lot of like backlighting in this image because it was natural light, and it's nice. Looks really good. Works for an image like this. Trust me, every bride wants to look beautiful like this. Probably with like her bridesmaid or her sister or her mom. So you guys should definitely try out this technique. I will be my next wedding doing something like this. I'll probably vlog one of my weddings. Anyways, I'm just dodging and burning. Quickly, I'm not zooming in to do micro dodge and burn. Imagine if I had to do this for 20 images. I think I said that before a few times. Even in the other video that you guys will probably never see. Because the cursor disappeared, so that's the dodge. Yeah, maybe a little bit too aggressive, but I can always reduce the opacity of that layer. Then the burn. We're not trying to do anything crazy, just quick, straight to the point. So dodge and burn is just contouring and highlighting in makeup terms. Just contouring and highlighting some certain places. Now I want her hair to be very dark around these areas, and same thing for her. Because I cannot remove all the blemishes there, I'll just darken it to hide it. So let's see her before and after. Let's zoom out so we can see her before and after from afar. I think the dodge is like just slightly too much, so I'm going to reduce the opacity of the dodge, and that's her before and after. So let's see where we started from, both images. So this is where we started from, and this is where we're at. Now at this point, I want to just do a few more things. I want to add some little more or a little more contrast to their skin or to the image in general. So I'm going to create a levels adjustment layer, pull in my whites. Like I said, this is a histogram again. Hold alternate or option while I'm doing that, pull in my whites. Make sure that the dress or their faces are not blowing out. So once you start seeing whites, that means it's blowing out, right? Or it's blown out at this point. So just somewhere around here is totally fine. Can deal with like a little blowing out of the highlights here. Then I'm just going to pull in my blacks. So I don't want my blacks to peak either. So 7 is probably a bit on the high side. Or is it good? 7 looks, okay, that's 8. No, let's do 6. So 6 works for me, right? And this is how this image looks right now. Okay, so the next thing I would love to do is I want to add a little gray to this image. So I'm just going to create a color balance adjustment layer, right? Add some blues to my shadows. I've added some blues to my shadows, so I want to counter that. I can see that it has just a little bit more magenta than it had before. So I'm just going to pull towards my greens and just add probably 1 or 2 right there, right? Then I'm going to go to highlights and I'll add some warmth. So I'm just going to pull up my yellows, and I can see once you pull up your yellows, there's probably just going to be a little bit more green in the image. So I'm just going to add some magenta to that to counter that. Magenta should be, let's do 3, if this will let me take it to 3. So let's see how before, after. It just gives it like this, the skin tones are just a little bit richer than before. Now for my midtones, I'm going to add some yellows to it. Probably not too much, like 2. Then I'll add some magentas again. Probably like 2 right there. So let's see before and after. Maybe the magenta is just a bit too much. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the magenta in the highlights and this midtones to 1. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay, this looks better to me. Now, a few things I would like to refine before I go. I still feel like it's the magenta. No, okay, now that's perfect. So a few things I'd like to refine before I go. I can see that there's this little gap here. So I'm just going to create a new layer, get my clone stamp tool, change to all layers, and I'll just cover this up like that. Just quickly, just cover that up. Next thing I want to do is I want to merge everything together and go to Liquify and fix like the hair and some other things. So command alternate, sorry, yeah, command option shift and E, right? That's for Mac. Then for Windows it's control alternate shift and E to create the merge visible layer. Everybody should know that. So now I'm going to come to filter and Liquify. Yes. So now that we're in Liquify, I just want to fix the hair a little bit. Just make it round and full. Right, like that. Just bring this part up a little bit. I understand the style he was going for, the hairstylist, but I just want to make the hair just a bit fuller and also just work on the curves a bit more. Okay, so I think this works for me. Yes, this works for me. Looks better now. You know, there's this roundness to it. Now, another thing is because I shot with like the 85, I kind of like made her nose a bit bigger. So I think that's phase 2. So I'm just going to reduce the nose width. Yes. And I'll reduce the height a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is what we've gotten, and that's what it looks like. Then click OK. Now, you might not have the face aware feature if you're using, I think it started in the 2017 Photoshop. So yeah, I think that's where it started. So yeah, so this is the final image. I'm just going to merge everything together, Command E, and show you guys the before and after. So you guys can see I didn't do too much. It's not like an overly retouched image. It's just the way it's meant to be, almost perfect. Wait, I think one thing I might do again in this image is I'll just probably reduce the red. So I'll come to my hue saturation, come down to reds, and just pull my reds down a little bit. Somewhere around here is fine, yes. Because I think that like the reds were like they're just too much and they were stopping me. I'll match them together again. So this is the before and this is the after. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to save it again. So while I save it, it's going to go back, or now that I'm saving, it's going to go back to Capture One as a PSD file, and I can view in Capture One, then I can export from Capture One. So let's go back to Capture One, and this is our before, and this is our after. But before we even do this, let me show you the straight out of camera, new variant. So this is the straight out of camera. You can see it's very flat, has a lot of grains. So just flat. So this is what we got in Capture One, and this is our final retouched image. Straight out the camera, Capture One, and our final image. This is the final image. Now, what I like to do for images like this is I just go to my sharpen tab here. Then I add some film grain to it. So I just hash grain and probably set the impact somewhere between 17 to between 17 to 20. So that's about it. Hopefully my cursor did not disappear throughout this video because I can't record this again. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment below, let me know if it helped you in any way. I really love the community that I'm building here and just in here on YouTube. It's just it's great. You guys push me to do more stuff for you guys and push me to make more tutorials. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'll keep trying to make quality videos and tutorials for you guys. And yeah, so just subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this and you want to hear me talk. Maybe you really like my voice and you just want to hear me talk. Subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week. Be positive and be nice to people. Peace.